Do you feel that these bureaucrats have been told by some
For what?
people
I'm
ruling
coming
this
to that. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. They are either enjoying some kind of beneficiaries of some government scheme, or are anticipating that something will fall into their mouth if they suck to they keep them crawling at their feet. So they are not an organized group.
This is parliament politics. But what is the locus standi of these bureaucrats, which includes IAS officers, diplomats, and some advocates, speaking on an issue like this? It seems that they have been dictated upon by someone at the center. Doesn't
That's
it
what
sound?
that's what I told you. What is the doubt about it? Who has used their brains?
If I remember very clearly, Mr. Devasahayam, just few days back when Home Minister Amit Shah was in Assam, he did say that Rahul Gandhi chai or biscuit khate hain, parliament ki garima girate hain. This is what he was telling an election rally while he was addressing the people in Assam. And just few days later, here we have a set of 204 bureaucrats who are writing an open letter like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You yourself have supervised elections during the 1970s when emergency was on. Do you ever remember an impeachment motion against a sitting CEC? That is question number one. And what is most baffling is that last Sunday, despite a pending impeachment motion, Mr. Gyanesh Kumar announces elections, and nobody is telling him that you should step aside because there is a notice of impeachment. Now, what locus standi does Mr. Gyanesh Kumar have in continuing on the seat of CEC? Should he not step aside? If Om Birla could set aside himself for a few days, why not Mr. Gyanesh Kumar? Why is he going announcing elections?
Very important question, and need to be answered in all sincerity. An impeachment motion has never been made against the Chief Election Commissioner. It should never have been made.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. In an open letter addressed to the citizens on Tuesday, 204 retired officers, including veterans of the armed forces, former bureaucrats, and senior advocates, expressed serious concerns over the conduct of the leader of the opposition, Rahul Gandhi, and other opposition MPs during a protest on March 12th within Parliament premises. Now, the signatories have argued in the letter that the dignity of Parliament was an essential element of the constitutional ethos and that members must uphold the highest standards of propriety and respect within all areas of the parliamentary precincts, including the stairs, corridors, and the lobbies. Now, if you look at the letter very carefully, the events of March 12 were deeply concerning, is what has been written by all these retired officers. And they've said that despite explicit instructions from the Speaker prohibiting demonstrations or protests within Parliament, Rahul Gandhi and several other MPs defied the directive. And they described this as a conscious disregard for parliamentary authority, and also accused the opposition of placing personal political theatrics above the dignity of a constitutional institution. They've also noted in the letter that Rahul Gandhi and other MPs were observed sitting on the steps of Parliament having tea and biscuits in a manner that was wholly unbecoming of members of the nation's highest legislative body. I'm quoting these portions from the letter which has been written. The retired officers have also asserted that the steps of Parliament were not a venue for spectacle or political theatre, and said such behaviour showed arrogance and entitlement as well as a lack of respect for Parliament. The signatories further contended that Rahul Gandhi had attributed to lowering the level of public discourse and decorum through repeated theatrics, suggesting a pattern of conduct motivated by a sense of personal privilege rather than respect for democratic institutions. Now, these bureaucrats have also added that such actions disrupted parliamentary proceedings and wasted valuable public time and resources. And they further stated that Sri Rahul Gandhi, I'm again quoting, Sri Rahul Gandhi must apologize to the nation for this behavior and introspect on the attitude that produced it. Now, the retired officers wanted that the leader of the opposition's conduct risked damaging the reputation of our country and our democracy, and has urged him to uphold the solemnity and the authority of Parliament. But the big question is that where were all these bureaucrats when some MPs from the BJP used condemnable language within the House, which includes our own Union Home Minister? So the big question is that why are these retired bureaucrats selective in targeting leader of the opposition? What is their agenda? And do they have a locus standi to speak on an issue like this? All this and much more we'll be discussing with the retired IAS officer, author and columnist, Mr. M.G. Devasahayam joins us. So thank you so much for joining. And this open letter written by so many bureaucrats is viral on the social media with a lot of negative reactions coming in for these 204 retired officers, which of course includes the IPS, some are advocates, some are diplomats, and some are IS officers. How would you look at the letter? You are also a retired IS officer. You've been speaking on a number of issues, which will come later on important issues like the impeachment motion of Mr. Gyanesh Kumar. But I would want your opinion on this letter, which has been written by the retired bureaucrats, this open letter, where they are seeking apology from leader of the opposition, Rahul Gandhi.
Neelu, thank you very much for today's conversation. You just now spent five precious minutes. I would say wasted 5 precious minutes of public time by reading this trash. I can't describe it anything better than that. My reaction is whether to cry or to laugh, because I don't know how the levels in India have descended so low as to select these kind of condemnable characters to the highest positions in India. Civil services, IAS, IPS, IFS, judges, advocates, diplomats. Absolute, I don't want to use harsh words in this. Normally, in a private conversation, I would use much harsher words. But these fellows need the harshest of words as condemnation. Couple of points. Number one, the subject matter on which they wrote is absolutely absurd. The dignity of Parliament has nothing to do with eating biscuit or having a cup of tea on the steps of the Parliament. It is just a building. And that too, this building looks like more of a, I don't want to say that. The comment was there at that time. A coffin than like a Parliament House, the present Parliament House. See, that has nothing to do with dignity. Dignity of the Parliament depends on the way how it upholds the dignity of democracy. And in this Parliament building, India's democracy has been virtually shattered and massacred. One typical instance will be linked to the subject that we will be discussing in detail. An act called Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners Act was passed. But the same speaker suspended 145 MPs. 145 MPs without any rhyme or reason. Threw them out of the house and enacted this law. Number one.
Do you feel that these bureaucrats have been told by some people?
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. They are either enjoying some kind of beneficiaries of some government scheme or are anticipating that something will fall into their mouth if they suck to they give them on crawling at their feet. So they are not an organized group. They have no discussion, no deliberation. I checked up. So we have our constitutional conduct group about 200, very cohesive constitutional conduct group which holds healthy discussions. And if you take up any public issue of importance, that means constitutional conduct group, which affects the dignity and integrity of the constitution, we debate in great detail. First of all, one or two of the members sent up a proposal saying that I want to take up this issue. I feel that this issue is important. First of all, we take a vote whether to deciding whether this issue is important at all. Once the decision is taken, yes, this is important, let us, the same set of people will make a draft of statement or letter and put it out, which will be discussed, debated, circulated, and corrected over a period of at least a week to 10 days. Then endorsements are sought. Then we have a minimum number of endorsements. Only after the endorsement comes, it is issued. Here I am told there are 2-3 people who are the minions of the state. They draft it and they circulate among these people. मैं हम issue कर रहे हैं. It's okay. And I am told 90% of these people have not even read the draft. They have not even read the draft and they mechanically approve and just, I don't want to mention names because there are 2-3 people who are beholden to this government, who are involved in a lot of controversies, who have got attractive jobs, who are settled in well-paid jobs and enjoying what do you call that, the tenures of office sinecures, and they are leading these people like by the nose. There is no democratic discussion. So this bunch of people are only giving, and then because of the slavish media that we have in this country, complete mercenary media, they immediately take up this issue. They will not take up the issues given by this constitutional conduct group, which are of critical importance. So many issues, I don't want to go into detail. There will be no coverage, except some digital media, others won't even give coverage. Whereas this will go as a, so the point I'm making is, in a fascist state, this kind of slaves of the state are bound to be there. They are benefiting from the mercy of the state. They are enjoying. I don't want to mention names because that will embarrass people. But to be frank with you, we don't give any credence to this trash. I have not even read it. Only after you reading, we read that, I know what they have written.
No, but what I don't understand is that this is parliament politics. But what is the locus standi of these bureaucrats, which includes IAS officers, diplomats, and some advocates speaking on an issue like this? It seems that they have been dictated upon by someone at the center. Doesn't it sound?
That's what I told you. What is the doubt about it? Who has used their brains?
If I remember very clearly, Mr. Devasahayam, just few days back when Home Minister Amit Shah was in Assam, he did say that Rahul Gandhi chai or biscuit khate hain, parliament ki garima girate hain. This is what he was telling an election rally while he was addressing the people in Assam. And just few days later, here we have a set of 204 bureaucrats who are writing an open letter like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, they have this point people who are pointsmen, hatchet men. They were given the signal, "Chhutti likh do," because with this rotten media, they said we will get some kind of traction, and they will become a object of discussion. So you just "Chhutti likh do," and I don't think out of 204, 200 people have read what is written. So this is a kind of, that's why I'm sorry, I won't be able to use harsh language because this calls for harsh language. This is complete kind of sort of, what do you call that, brainless kind of exercise. The harshest I can use.
Right.
They've just put their name and then sent it out without understanding how ridiculous they've all become butt of ridicule. But then they made this as a subject of this thing. So that is the degradation into which it has. The main drafters, I am told, are enjoying powers of authority. I don't want to mention names. And they have been told. Because they are already enjoying the favor. So they're virtually sarkari servants.
I was about to come to Mr. Ganesh Kumar, the Chief Election Commissioner. You yourself have supervised elections during the 1970s when emergency was on. Do you ever remember an impeachment motion against a sitting CEC? That is question number one. And what is most baffling is that last Sunday, despite a pending impeachment motion, Mr. Ganesh Kumar announces elections and nobody is telling him that you should step aside because there is a notice of impeachment. Now, what locus standi does Mr. Ganesh Kumar have in continuing on the seat of CEC? Should he not step aside? If Om Birla could set aside himself for a few days, why not Mr. Ganesh Kumar? Why is he going announcing elections?
Very important question and need to be answered in all sincerity. An impeachment motion has never been made against the Chief Election Commissioner. It should never have been made. Things have come to such a pass that an impeachment motion has been passed, has been moved in the parliament. And this is a very unique impeachment motion. For impeachment motion, you need only either 100 Lok Sabha MPs or 50 Rajya Sabha MPs. In this case, both MPs have come together and 193 MPs have filed the impeachment petition. And I think 63 Rajya Sabha MPs and 103 odd Lok Sabha MPs. Now, the charges mentioned are very serious. If the normal process is gone through, there is a procedure. First of all, the notice has to be accepted, then inquiry made, discussions and debate takes place in Parliament, a vote is done, 2/3 majority, and impeachment motion will come to play. That may not happen because the thuggery of the ruling party is so much that they will not be amenable to any sort of decency. But the charge sheet containing serious charges, gross misconduct, dereliction of duty, all kind of fraud, deceit, and over and above all, death of nearly 50 BLOs, death. Decision of the Chief Election Commissioner has caused death. This is a very serious matter. There's a vicarious responsibility. So, leave alone what is going to happen, the due process. He has no business to stay in that power even for 1 minute more. He should have said, thank you very much, I am stepping aside. And I will rejoin only when I am exonerated. If he is a human being, if he has any semblance of consciousness, if he has any sense of morality, I am saying this all sense of responsibility and a civil servant which is far senior to him. I am saying this with that. He would have stepped aside.
No, but if he doesn't feel the need to step aside.
No. Let me complete.
Right.
Let me complete this.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
See, he should have stepped aside. It is not that the election commission is going to collapse. There are two other election commissioners are sitting there. They could have conducted the election. The election is not conducted by the chief election commissioner. It is a machinery. Machinery is very much intact. And the other two fellows are also equally competent, experienced people.
What what I'm trying to ask you is, it's supposing if he doesn't step aside, then is there an authority, whether it is the Chief Justice of India, whether it is the President of India, or whether it is the Prime Minister, can anybody tell him to step aside on the basis of the moral fiber that he should step aside till the pending inquiry at least? But nobody is even doing that.
Moral favor, moral responsibility, you should not be told. See, let me now explain. There are two sets of authority. A person in high authority. One is moral, one is formal authority, which is conferred by law, by the status, by position, by the job. Moral authority, the moral character, the strength of character and the caliber. Now, which is more important? Moral authority or formal authority or moral authority? I would say moral authority is 1,000 times better than formal authority. Because according to my theory, without moral authority, a person cannot exercise even formal authority. So, in this case, he has no moral authority. Though he has got the formal authority, he should step aside because he cannot be told, because there is no law, there is no rule. His conscience must take the decision. I will tell you a typical example which is more important. Moral authority or formal authority. I have a litmus test. I have this habit of asking people. 3 contemporary personalities in India, I will ask them for their opinions. Whom do you respect more? First question, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi or Jawaharlal Nehru? Whom do you respect more? The word used is respect more. Public. Immediately the answer comes, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Okay. One contemporary over. Second contemporary. Whom do you respect more? Jawaharlal Nehru or Jayaprakash Narayan? Both were contemporaries. The immediate answer comes Jayaprakash Narayan. Okay. Come to 3. Say contemporaries number 3. Whom do you respect more? Mother Teresa or Indira Gandhi? The answer comes Mother Teresa. Do you know the commonality between these 3? All the 3 who were respected more wielded moral authority. None of them wielded formal authority. Whereas all the 3 who were commanding lesser respect were only commanding formal authority, but not the kind of moral authority. So from the public purview, which is more important?
But these kind of transfers which are happening, Mr. Devasahayam, whether it is in West Bengal, whether it is happening in Tamil Nadu, do you think that these kind of transfers always happen? And obviously the entire state machinery is under the CEC. But this scale of transfers, do you think is unprecedented, like what we see in West Bengal and other states?
Whatever may be, that is another part. That is the Election Commission's part. We are talking about Ganesh Kumar. Now, other 2 election commissioners can also take the same decision if they want to, if there is a need. The point I am making is quo warranto. This is the most eminent case for the application of the writ of quo warranto. But unfortunately, legally, it is not applicable because he has got the formal authority.
But what does this writ do? I just want to understand for the sake of the viewers who don't know. You're talking about a writ. What does it do?
What does it mean? I don't understand the question.
This writ you are talking about, which you're saying is legally not applicable. What is this writ all about?
Quo warranto is a writ wherein the authority of a person to do a certain thing is questioned. By what authority? So now it is one of the 6 or 7 writ petitions which can be filed in the Supreme Court and or High Court, where if you say that so and so has acted, issued an order without authority, that order can be rescinded and a writ will be issued. That order will stand cancelled.
No, so you are
That's
saying
called
that this
writ
will
of
be
quo.
applied on Mr. Ganesh Kumar? Are you saying that this writ quo warranto you're talking about can be applied on Ganesh Kumar?
I am saying it should be applied but since he has got the formal, this is normally done in formal authority. We don't have such a writ. The point I am making is we don't have such a writ to be made applicable in the given of a moral authority. But coming back to the civil service, now there is no rule, there is no regulation as far as the Chief Election Commission is concerned. There's only impeachment, which is a very vague kind of.
That if he's not stepping aside, is there an authority which can tell him to move aside at least till the time the inquiry is pending?
That is where, as a layman, Supreme Court exercises extreme authority. I think, if I remember, it is Article 124. They have an extraordinary power in which they used earlier, recently in some case, they used I don't remember exactly what case it was. They used that extraordinary power for a normal thing. This is an extraordinary situation. Saving of democracy is an extraordinary situation. I will appeal to the Chief Justice of India. I will appeal to the Chief Justice of India to consider this case carefully, understand its implications, and use the extraordinary power, because the institutions are meant for this, to safeguard the people, not individuals. In my view, it is a moral responsibility of the Supreme Court of India. No other authority can do it. You asked this question specifically, which authority has?
Right. So you are saying that Supreme Court should step in, should ask Ganesh Kumar to step aside till the inquiry is pending.
They should take it up in whatever way they want to do it. And they could even need not issue a writ petition. They could even issue an advisory. That's more than enough. Right. How can he remain at the helm of affairs? Quo warranto. By what authority? So this is very critical, and I would say this is a very extremely critical situation in which India's democracy is. And the so-called group of people who are interested in Rahul Gandhi taking a cup of tea and eating a poor chap, the bachelor, eating a few biscuits. I mean, I don't feel like cry or laugh. And this is not affecting the dignity of democracy. They are safeguarding the dignity of democracy.
It is indeed very, very disturbing, and like the points which you've emphasized in the course of this show are very, very important. But will Supreme Court wake up? Will Supreme Court take cognizance of the fact that a CEC against whom an impeachment motion is pending cannot continue as a CEC? Will Supreme Court really take a call on this? Thank you so much. I'd like to end it here. Thank you very much, Mr. Devasahayam, for joining on HW News. Thank you.
Thank you.